Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. And today, I don't really have a trade of the day. Today's the day of the Coinbase listing on NASDAQ, and it's caused some interesting moves in the crypto markets as well. So I'm currently have about 10 positions open right now, and none of them have resolved. So I'm going to take advantage of this little bit of downtime to do my Fibonacci retracement training. So I'm not sure how long this will take. I'm hoping 10 to 15 minutes at the most. But for now, let's get started. Let's go to the chart. So we'll go ahead and do this on Bitcoin. And I've got the day chart open right now. And here's what we want to do with Fibonacci retracements. We want to see this kind of run up here and then buy down here. We want to see this run up here and buy down here. Take advantage of this, buy here. And anyway, you get the idea. So how do we do that? How do we catch the retrace after a big run up? Because that's my favorite way to trade. I love dip trades, and I love it when I have a prior set of candles to rely upon for an exit point. So this is perfect for me. The downside of Fibonacci retracements is, as a day trader, it's not incredibly useful to locate, the 5 to 10% trades I want to make. It's better for giving me an all-around picture of the market, and it is very helpful in swing trades, the kind of trades that I may hold for a week or two. But I will go ahead and we will get started. So what are the Fibonacci retracements and what are those values? Well, if you go over here on TradingView, this is where the tools are. You've got your Fib retracement and your trend-based Fib extension. I've talked about the Fib extension on other videos, so I'm not going to use it today, but the Fib retracement is going to be the focus on what we talk about today. The first thing we need to do is get some Fib retracement values. And to make this video go faster, I'm going to let you know that I have created a toolbar out of these values. So I've got the Fib retracement and the Fib extension here. This is the retracement. This is the extension. And a bunch of other values too to help me mark up my charts. So those come from here, the trend line tools. So you can see I have multiple stars by these. These are all the tools I use to color code my charts. You can do it any way you want, but this is how I like to do it. So I'm just going to use my toolbar. If you click a star next to any of these values, it'll add that to your toolbar. So, all right, so this is the Fibonacci retracement, and I click on it once, and I go from left to right, always left to right. And it creates these values you see to the left here. These are the values you're going to want to enter into your Fibonacci retracement tool. So I'm going to click here on settings, and it's going to show me the values that are most important. I rely on the 236, the 382, 0.5, and the 618. These four here are the values I rely on the most. We've also got the 786, the 886 on the bottom end, and then 1 and 0 on opposite sides of the retracement. So you may want to pause the video here and write these down, or take a screenshot of this, but I think I've left it up here long enough, so I'm gonna move on. So what I find the most difficult about using Fibonacci retracements is where to set the range. I think to make this current, we will go ahead and set the range on the day chart at this low right here. So I'm going to delete that and get it out of the way. We're going to use the closing candle and the closing candle's wick. The longest, for our bottom, the lowest one, it appears to be this red one here, and then the wick. So I'm going to use my neon green ray to indicate That's the low point. Now I've got the high point. Looks to me, the closing candle, well, we know that this red one is closed slightly below this green, or else it would be green. So we're going to go with this green candle here. It's not a significant difference anyway, but we're not going to use the wick on the one next to it because the green candle is the high. All right, so now I'm going to click on my fib tool, go left to right. That's a value I get. So I'm going to make this bigger so we can make better use of it and it's more visual. Okay, the candles do obscure some of these values, but I'm going to let you know what they are when I actually color code my Fibonacci retracement values. I always start with the 5 to the 618. That's these values right here. They're generally in the middle. So I like to use a blue rectangle to show that range. This is my favorite range to trade in. So I'm going to click the rectangle, go left to right. Here's the 5-0. I'm going to bring it to the right as far as I can and drop it down to my 618. So that's the best retracement range to usually get. Then I'm going to use this horizontal line to mark the 786. Another horizontal line to mark the 886. These are our last lines of defense. If it goes down here, it's crashing hard. May not even recover, but Bitcoin probably would recover. And if it goes below the low, then this invalidates the whole fib and we have to redo it. Usually just make an adjustment on the existing fib. But for our intents and purposes here, if the coin crashes below this, then we have to do it over again. All right, the 382, I'm going to mark with this ray here. Mine is pink, and then I'm going to use this info line to mark my 236. All right, so I've got all my values in, and then I sometimes will use this anchored text to let me know when I did this. So I can click on that, and it'll give me a window here, today's date, 4/14/2021. It's about 5:30 my time. I use military time. I just think it's convenient, and I'm using the day chart. So these are the values I like to put in my anchored text. And when I first started doing fib retracements, I left the fib on the chart to just to let me know that a fib was on the chart. Now that I've got these lines, I know what they're for. I'm going to delete the fib. No, I'm going to leave it on. That'll make it easier for you guys. So, but I would usually delete this, and that way I would just have this information here, but I'll bring it back. And so our goal here, we would probably put an alert on this 236 to let us know that the fib is in play. My teacher told me that once a coin hits this 236 on a retrace, there's a 90% chance it's going to the 382. I haven't seen that as much in this bull market, so I don't know if the 90% is as accurate as it used to be. But I think 2/3 is pretty accurate. So there's a really good chance that if it hits this 236, it's going to hit the 382. At the 382, you probably set another alert, and if the candle action is still trending down, maybe it's going to hit this 5.0 to 618 range, which is a real sweet spot to buy. So that's a basic overview of how I use Fibonacci retracements on the day chart. Let's use a more, for lack of a better term, more practical use. You can go down as far as the hour chart. I think much less than that, say 30 minutes or 15 minutes isn't going to be real useful. But I started doing something with this hour chart because I wanted to give an example that would show you how these values really work. So this is the 1 hour chart, and this is recent. These are today's values. I went ahead and marked my low and high with the neon green rays. And one could argue that maybe I should have started here or even here, but for our purposes, I'm going to use this range here. So I'm going to click on my fib, draw it out, and as you can see, it dropped below the 236 already, and it wicked down to the 382 right here, and then bounced back. I think in the bull market we're in, we're not going to see a lot of retraces down to the 50 to the 618 for Bitcoin. I think the 382 is about the biggest retrace we're going to get, maybe down to the 50, but anyway, it's hard to say. But it worked perfectly. Hit the high, broke the 236, down to 382, and then a bounce. And if we bought it here, we'd be up 2.74%. Most likely I would have done a leverage token of some kind, 2x to 3x. Leverage traders use this all the time. That's one of the reasons I wanted to learn it, because I'd like to do leverage trading eventually. Not doing it yet, but yeah, these are serious, significant tools for those who want to do leverage trading. Well, that's about all I have for my quick discussion of Fibonacci retracements. I know this is oversimplified. I spent weeks learning how to do this. That's all I have for today. Please stay tuned for some additional messages and check out the tools and resources in the comments below. They help support the channel. I'll see you next time. Thanks, and happy trading. Bye.